Today's lesson is Plus Talk, a trip to the hair salon. Hi, everybody. My name is Roger.
And I'm Helen.
And today we're going to go to a hair salon, sometimes called a beauty salon if it's for women. And sometimes, of course, we don't like our hairstyle and we'd like to get a new hairdo. For me, I'm a boy. I just get my hair cut short, so I just go to a barber shop. That's fine for me. Or even sometimes I cut my own hair. But hey, if you want a style, if you want to have some flair, and you want to look your best, maybe you ought to go to a hair salon.
That's right. Now, I haven't been to a hair salon in ages. I've been learning to cut my own hair. That happened during the pandemic when I didn't feel safe enough to go to a salon. But now that things may be looking up, I think I need to make another trip to the hair salon to get a hairstyle that is actually professional looking.
Indeed, and if you find yourself in an English-speaking country and you decide to get yourself a new hairdo, then today's lesson is for you because we're going to talk about a conversation involving the stylist and Lola. And then we've got another conversation between the stylist and Lola again. And these conversations are all about booking an appointment and getting your hair dyed. But, let's book an appointment first in our lesson for today. So let's find out what Lola says to the stylist to arrange a visit to the local hair salon.
A trip to the hair salon. 1. Booking an appointment. Lola calls to see whether her stylist has an available slot. Hello, this is Mirror Mirror. You're speaking with Ash. How can I help you today?
Hi, Ash. I'd like to make an appointment for Friday evening. Do you have any slots available?
Yes, I currently have a slot from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock free. Does that suit?
Actually, that's perfect.
Great. Can I please have your name and phone number?
Sure. It's Lola.
Oh, hi, Lola. I didn't recognize your voice. There's no need for a phone number then. I have you on file. What are you looking to have done on Friday?
Just a cut and color.
Wonderful. I'll see you at 6 o'clock.
And welcome back. So today's lesson is called A Trip to the Hair Salon. First of all, the word salon, it means a place where you go to get your hair styled and cut. And it's a little bit different from a barber shop. You might also have heard the term barber shop, which is usually used for men. It's traditionally a place where men go to get their hair cut, to get their beards trimmed, or to get shaved. So that's the difference between a barber shop and a salon. And here in the first part, which is titled Booking an Appointment, we have Lola who calls to see whether her stylist has an available slot. A stylist is someone whose job is to cut and to arrange someone's hair in a nice way or in a way that they want. And popular stylists usually have a lot of clients. They're very much in demand. So often you need to call ahead to see if your stylist has an available slot, has time to cut your hair. A slot is a time during a series of events when something is arranged to be done. So another way to use the word slot would be, for instance, the slot of a television program. You could say the TV channel will air a new show for its 7:30 evening slot. So that is the slot of time that the TV channel has to air this new TV show.
Yep, it's a specific time in someone's schedule. It could also be the little hole in a vending machine where you put your coin in order to buy a soda or to pay your parking bill at the local parking garage or something like that. That would be a slot. Put the coins in the slot. But in this particular case, it's just a space on the person's schedule. So yes, indeed, she's calling to see if her stylist or her hairstylist has an available slot, an available time in which she can go in and get her hair styled. And the stylist answers the phone. He says, "Hello, this is Mirror Mirror. You're speaking with Ash. How can I help you today?" So that's the name of this particular salon, Mirror Mirror. I'm guessing that's from the old nursery rhyme, Mirror Mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Yep, that would be from Snow White, I think, that fairy tale. But in any case, Lola replies, "Hi, Ash. I'd like to make an appointment for Friday evening. Do you have any slots available?" So again, the word slot is used, and Lola is asking if Ash has any free time that Lola can use to come in to get her hair done.
Right, and when you call someone to see a doctor or a hairstylist, you'll say, "I'd like to make an appointment." Okay, do you have time in this certain time slot? And her particular request is for Friday evening. Do you have any available slots of time available? And the stylist, Ash, says, "Yes, I currently have a slot from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock free. Does that suit? Is that suitable for you? Would that be a good time for you?"
Yes, and usually we would say, "Does that suit you?" or "Is that suitable?" But here, the stylist, Ash, is being a little bit colloquial, so he says, "Does that suit?" to make the conversation short. And Lola says, "Actually, that's perfect." So from 6 to 8 o'clock on Friday is a good time for Lola, and the stylist says, "Great. Can I please have your name and phone number?" At this point, the stylist still doesn't know that it's Lola calling.
She says, "Sure, it's Lola." And now the stylist remembers. "Oh, Lola, you're an old customer. You've been here before. I didn't recognize your voice." Sometimes when we call people on the phone, we don't sound like ourselves. We don't sound like we sound in person. So at first he did not recognize her voice. He did not know who she was at the beginning.
Yes, and I think that that's also kind of a custom in Taiwan. When people call, they don't always announce themselves. They don't always say their names first, whereas in the States, it's more common for people to say, "Hi, this is Helen calling. I'm looking for Ash." It would just be more natural to do that. So here, the stylist didn't know it was Lola, and he says, "Oh, hi, Lola. I didn't recognize your voice. There's no need for a phone number then. I have you on file. What are you looking to have done on Friday?" So since Lola had been there before, the stylist, Ash, already has all her information, her telephone number, and etc. So he just wants to know for now what Lola wants to be done to her hair on Friday. Does she want to cut? Does she want to perm? Does she want her hair colored? So that Ash can get an idea beforehand.
Exactly. He probably needs to make some preparations for her, so he'll need to know exactly what kind of hairstyle that she has in mind. Does she just want to get a cut and trim, or does she want to get her hair dyed or permed or something like that? So, of course, he needs to know exactly what she wants to have done. So, yeah, what are you looking to have done? What do you want me to do to you on Friday? How would you like me to style your hair? And Lola says, well, just a cut and color. So a cut just means he's just going to cut her hair short. It's grown a little long in recent weeks or something like that. So she just wants it cut shorter. She wants a trim, you could also say. But she also wants some color added to her hair. Does that mean she wants to dye her hair?
Well, possibly. So we're not going to know until Lola gets to the hairstylist. And the stylist says, wonderful. I'll see you at 6 o'clock. So the stylist has an idea of what Lola wants, and the stylist can control the time that it'll take to give Lola the hairstyle that she wants based on her description. So the only thing left is for him to say, I'll see you on Friday. I'll see you at 6 o'clock.
So it's a date. They're going to have a hair appointment there, and hopefully she's going to look her best. She's going to look extremely stylish, and all of her friends are going to go, wow, what a wonderful hairdo you have there. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson for today. Now we're going to follow Lola to the hair salon, and she's going to get her hair dyed. Let's listen in.
2. Getting her hair dyed. Lola arrives at the hair salon and is ushered to a styling chair. So, you said you wanted to have your hair dyed.
Yes, I was planning to get a bob with ear loop highlights. Do you think that kind of hairstyle would suit me?
Absolutely. A bob will frame your features very nicely. What color were you thinking of getting for the highlights?
I thought blonde would look nice.
Yes, that would work. You could also be a little more daring and get pink highlights. They're pretty on trend right now. This color would be perfect for you.
Oh, I love it. Let's go with pink highlights then.
大家好，第二部分我们看到动词 dye 表示为点点点染色，像是 The woman asked the store to dye her shoes to match her dress. 这女士要求店家帮她的鞋子染色，以搭配她的洋装。或是 Everyone thought Joe was crazy when he dyed his hair bright orange. 当 Joe 把头发染成亮橘色，大家都觉得他疯了。另外，这个字也可以当作名词，指染料或是染剂。例如 The company uses only natural dyes for its products. 该公司的产品只使用天然染料。或是 This type of dye can be used only on cotton. 这种染料只可使用在棉布上。接着我们看到单字 usher， 这个字是动词，指引领，常用 usher somebody to or into 表示引某人到点点点。例如 The waitress ushered us to our table in the restaurant. 女服务生带我们进餐厅到我们的桌位。或是 The butler ushered the guests into the sitting room. 那位男管家引领客人到起居室。另外 usher 也可以当作名词，指引座员或是代位员。像是 The usher checked our tickets as we entered the movie theater. 我们进电影院时，代位员检查了一下我们的票。或者 The usher guided us to our seats. 代位员带领我们到我们的座位。接着我们看到单字 hairstyle， 这个字是名词，指发型。举例来说 Bob's new hairstyle makes him look like a movie star. Bob 的发型让他看起来像一位电影明星。或是 Mike is always changing his hairstyle. This week he shaved his head completely. Mike 总是在换发型，这礼拜他把他的头发全部剃光了。最后我们看到动词 frame， 意思是修饰点点点的边缘，或是将点点点镶边加框。例如 The picture was framed with a pattern of intertwined vines. 那幅画有交织藤蔓的图案框饰。另外，这个字当名词使用时，有骨架或是框架的意思。举例来说 The workers built the frame of the house first, and then they put the roof on. 工人们先建好房子的骨架，然后放上屋顶。或是 Simon bought a bike with a light frame because he has to carry it up and down the stairs. Simon 买了一台轻支架的单车，因为他必须扛着它上下楼。
So here in the second part, Lola is going to get her hair dyed. The second part is titled Getting Her Hair Dyed. So to dye is to change the color of something. When you dye a piece of cloth, you are changing the color of that piece of cloth. If you dye your hair, you are changing the color of your hair. So Lola arrives at the hair salon and is ushered to a styling chair. So to usher someone to a chair is to lead them politely to the chair. You also have, in some cases, people who work in theaters whose job is to usher the audience members to their seats. So these ushers, the noun form usher, their job is to show people to their seats in a very polite and formal way.
And the stylist says, So, you said you wanted to have your hair dyed. You wanted to add some color to your hair. And when that happens, you probably need to dye your hair. Remember, the word dye is spelled D-Y-E. That just means to change the color of something. Some people like to dye their own clothes, for example. I dyed some t-shirts when I was in high school. It was a lot of fun. But here she wants to have her hair dyed, or at least that's what he thinks she had said. You said you wanted to have your hair dyed. Is that true?
And Lola says, yes, I was planning to get a bob with air loop highlights. So Lola is describing exactly what look she wants. First of all, she wants a bob, and that refers to the cut that she wants. A bob is a hairstyle, usually for women, in which the hair is cut short to an even length, usually at the level of the chin or the neck. So you might think of Cleopatra as an example. Cleopatra in the 1950s movie, that would be a typical example of a bob. Or you might think of Uma Thurman's role in the movie Pulp Fiction that came out around 20 years ago. If you can find a picture of that on the internet, that's also a typical image of a bob. And Lola also wants ear loop highlights. Ear loop highlights are highlights that are applied to the bottom layer of your hair over your ears. So in other words, if all of your hair is down, you may not be able to see the dyed part. But if you lift the top layers of your hair up, then you'd be able to see the dyed layer of the hair that is right over your ears.
Interesting. That's kind of a new fashion tip. I've never heard of that before because I usually just go to the barbershop and get a trim, and that's all I need. And, of course, Lola has a question. Do you think that kind of hairstyle would suit me? Okay, so that's my idea. I was planning to get a bob with these ear loop highlights, but I need your opinion. Do you think that is suitable for me? Do you think that's a hairstyle that would look good on me?
Yes, and here hairstyle refers to the style or shape of your hair that has been cut or arranged into. So when you go to a hairstylist or when you go to a stylist, then you sometimes have to tell the stylist what kind of hairstyle you want. But also there are times when you have no idea what hairstyle you want and you just leave it all up to the stylist to give you a look that they think is suitable for you.
And the stylist likes her idea. Absolutely, that would suit you. It would look good on you. A bob will frame your features very nicely. So here we've got the word frame being used as a verb. That means you just kind of put something around something, like you can frame a picture and put it on the wall. You actually put it inside a frame that has borders on it, like made out of wood or metal or something like that to make your picture look nice. And in this particular case, the hair goes around your face, so it will frame your features very nicely. It will make your face look nice. It will make your eyes look good, your nose, your mouth, your ears. That will all look good. Those things will all look good because of this particular hairstyle.
Yes, and the stylist then asks, what color were you thinking of getting for the highlights? And Lola responds, I thought blonde would look nice. So blonde refers to hair that is pale yellow in color. Very often, people from Northern Europe have blonde hair, but we only use the word blonde for hair. Occasionally, we might describe the color of beer as being blonde, beer, the alcoholic drink. But otherwise, blonde is usually used only to describe hair color.
And the spelling of the word blonde is kind of tricky because it actually is a French word used in English. And the base word is blonde, B-L-O-N-D, without the E. So you could be attracted to a blonde surfer and you want to get a date with him. So he would be blonde, B-L-O-N-D. But if he already has a girlfriend who has the same color hair, then her hair is blonde with an E, B-L-O-N-D-E. And here Lola, of course, is talking about herself. So she wants blonde hair. She wants that kind of light yellow sort of color that lots of Europeans have. She thinks blonde would be a nice color for the highlights.
And the stylist says, yes, that would work. You could also be a little more daring and get pink highlights. They're pretty on trend right now. So the stylist says, well, blonde could work. Yes, it would look great. But if you want to do something that's a little bit more daring, that takes a little bit more courage because it's going to make you stand out because not many people have it, then you might consider getting pink highlights. So instead of blonde, instead of a pale yellow color, you might want to get pink for those ear loop highlights. And the stylist says that they're pretty on trend. When something is on trend, it just means that it's very fashionable. It's what's in at the moment. It's what a lot of trendy people or cool people are doing.
Yep, they're pretty hip right now. They're pretty cool. They're trendy right now. You could also say that's what everybody's doing. And then he flips through a magazine and shows her a picture. So if you flip through something, of course, you just turn the pages rather quickly because you're looking for some information. So he kind of flips through the magazine and then he finds a picture and shows the picture to her. It's probably a picture of a woman who has pink highlights, and he says this color would be perfect for you. See? He's giving her an example of someone who has those highlights, and then she can imagine what she would look like with the same highlights, and she says, oh, I love it. Let's go with pink highlights then. So it sounds like Lola has found the perfect stylist. He knows exactly what she needs.
Yep, it sounds also like Lola had not thought about getting pink highlights, but now that the idea is presented to her, she really loves the idea and she wants to go ahead and be daring in life and do something different.
And that brings us to the end of our discussion for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。首先看到第二部分对话标题是 Getting her hair dyed 染发。那当我们用 get 加受词加上过去分词 pp 可以表达说安排人做某事，请人做某事。其中这个动词 get 意思就跟实义动词 have 相同，像我们可以说 Jake got his car washed yesterday， 然后就相当于 Jake had his car washed yesterday。 Jake 昨天请人家洗他的车。那句子里面这个受词是车子，车子不会帮自己洗澡嘛，那么车子是被洗的，这个受词跟动作是被动关系，所以才用过去分词 washed 来当受词补语，表达说车子给人洗。好，另外如果受词跟动作是主动关系，我们就会用句型 get 受词to 加原形动词，例如 She's trying to get her husband to quit smoking， 她试着要让她老公戒烟。好，那这边我们也来学习这个实义动词 have 的用法哦。have 当实义动词，它的受词补语可以是原形动词、现在分词 VING 或者是过去分词 PP， 不过它们所代表的意义不同。好，首先来看第一个句型 have 加受词再加原形动词，这是用来表示命令或要求，常常用在表达是一次执行完成的动作，或者是那个动作呢在一定时间内完成。举例来说 She had her son mop the floor， 她叫她儿子拖地。好，那第二个句型是 have 加上受词再加过去分词 PP， 这时候它的受词常常是事物，用来表达请人做某事，让人做某事，就像我们刚刚讲的 get 加受词加 PP 的那个用法。例如 I had my laptop repaired yesterday， 我昨天请人家帮我修理笔记型电脑。那第三个补充的句型是 have 加上受词再加上现在分词 VING， 这则是用来强调动作持续进行或者是自然发生，像是 He had the fan running all night long， 他让电风扇整晚都开着。好，那在对话的最后面，发型师推荐 Lola 挑染粉红色，他说很适合她，那么 Lola 就回答说 Let's go with pink highlights then。 好，这边他用到片语动词 go with， 我们来学习它几个常见的用法。第一个呢是文中用法，可以表达选择、选用的意思，例如 She decided to go with the blue dress， 她决定要挑选那件蓝色洋装。那么第二个用法呢，你可以用 go with 去表达搭配跟什么相配，你可以用 go well with 点点点去表达说跟什么很搭，像是 This tie goes well with your suit， 这条领带跟你的西装很搭很相配。那第三个用法是表达说伴随啊，随着点点点一起出现，例如 If you want to start your own business， You have to accept the stress that goes with it。 如果你想要自己创业，那你就得承受伴随而来的压力咯。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Salon. Laura called the salon and booked an appointment for a haircut. Slot. I'm sorry, but we don't have any more open slots today. Dye. We use only natural products to dye our clothes. Frame.The bedroom window framed a small square of dark blue sky.
Well, everyone, today's article has come to an end, and I sure hope you enjoyed reading along with us. I am Roger.
I'm Helen.
See you next time.